At midnight, the Texas House passed one of the most significant deadlines of a legislative session, with activists this morning noting that a lot of conservatives' priorities were left undone in a GOP-dominated chamber. This is Friday, May 16th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State, the Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Welcome into Friday. Thanks for starting the end of your week with the Texas Minute. Let's get right into the news. Officials at the University of Houston are shifting research focuses and reassessing budgets amid the Trump administration's cuts to federal grants for DEI and climate change. According to university officials, 25 federal grant programs have been eliminated, and half of the institution's new federal awards have been cut. These reductions amount to a funding loss of approximately $4 million. The Vice Chancellor for Research, Claudia Newhouser, cited programs that supported African-American engineering students as an example of projects that can be retooled, suggesting these initiatives could be broadened to include all students, thereby making them re-eligible for federal support. Governor Greg Abbott has formally requested a waiver from the United States Department of Agriculture. He wants to prohibit the use of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits for the purchase of unhealthy foods such as soda and candy. His move was announced in a letter to the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. It marks a significant push to reshape the nutritional standards of SNAP purchases in Texas. SNAP was formerly known as food stamps. It's the largest federal nutrition assistance program, helping more than 41 million Americans afford groceries each year. While the program's stated goal is to increase access to nutritious food, critics have argued that a substantial portion of SNAP benefits are currently spent on items with little or no nutritional value. State Senator Mays Middleton, a Republican from Galveston, has been seeking a legislative ban on the use of SNAP benefits for products such as soda, candy, cookies, potato chips, corn chips, and energy drinks. A well-known national pro-life activist has made an alarming accusation against a Texas-based pro-life organization. Now, this isn't the first time that the Texas Alliance for Life and its executive director Joe Poyman have been accused of sabotaging pro-life legislation. Abby Johnson is a former Planned Parenthood employee who turned against the organization and has become a pro-life advocate. She's accusing the Texas Alliance for Life of working to prevent proposed pro-life legislation from receiving a hearing in the Texas House. According to Johnson, the Texas Alliance for Life threatened to pull its endorsement of a Republican House committee chairman if he held a hearing on popular pro-life legislation authored by conservative State Representative Brent Money of Greenville. Back in 2017, the Texas Alliance for Life publicly aligned itself with NARAL, that's a pro-abortion advocacy group, to oppose a ban on dismemberment abortion. Pro-lifers conspiring with NARAL? These guys seem more like Faux-life. Well, the Texas Minute will be right back.
Why get your news from people who don't share your values? Get news stories from Texas Scorecard. We provide real news for real Texans. Go to texasscorecard.com today.
At the stroke of midnight, a key deadline for House legislation expired, leaving hundreds of pieces of legislation on the calendar now dead for the session. Of course, numerous conservative priorities like those ending in-state tuition for illegal aliens or mandating E-Verify for employers didn't even make it to the House calendar. Despite having months to act, the House spent much of the early session at a crawl, taking frequent long weekends and moving relatively few pieces of legislation. In those first months of the session, numerous conservative members highlighted the coming logjam by objecting to those early adjournments. The result was a bloated calendar yesterday with a 30-page document listing hundreds of measures awaiting action. One big item to make it across the finish line was legislation by Republican State Representative Shelley Luther of Sherman. Her legislation would allow individuals to sue vaccine manufacturers if a drug they advertised caused harm. A high-profile casualty, however, was a measure by Republican Joanne Schaffner of Nacogdoches, which would have required the Texas Commissioner of State Health Services to issue a statewide order allowing pharmacists to dispense ivermectin without a prescription. The session isn't over, of course. With this deadline now passed, only legislation that originated in the Senate is now eligible to be considered by the House in the coming weeks. You can find details on all of the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original reporting of Michael Wilson, Sidney Henry, Adam Kahn, and Brandon Waltons. Our producer is Nick Shepard, who stays up late to get the show delivered to you early. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great weekend.